When a man is sexually attracted to you, his eyes speak a language that words can't compete with. There's a difference between someone who casually glances your way and someone whose gaze lingers like it's trying to memorize every detail of your face and body. This isn't the kind of eye contact that happens out of politeness or habit. It's electric. You can feel it. It holds your attention. It pauses time for a moment. He might look at you like you're the most mesmerizing thing he's seen all day, and the truth is, if he's sexually attracted to you, you probably are in his eyes. What's really happening here is instinct. Deep inside, men are visual creatures. When sexual attraction hits, it triggers a subtle, but powerful response. His pupils might dilate, his blink rate may slow down, and he will often track your movements with an intensity that feels hard to ignore. You might notice him watching you from across the room, and instead of quickly looking away when you catch him, he holds your gaze as if daring you to read his mind. This isn't aggression. It's desire, controlled, focused, intentional, and when he's in conversation with you, his eyes don't just stay on your face, they explore ***. He might glance at your lips when you talk, not once, repeatedly, because he's not just listening, he's imagining. Wondering, curious about the way you move, the way you speak, the way your body expresses what your words are saying. He may scan your neckline, watch the way your hair falls over your shoulders, or look at the curve of your waist, not disrespectfully, but instinctively, like his brain is painting a picture. He doesn't want to forget that look. It's not a passing moment. It's ***, lingering ***, and it happens again and again. Every time he sees you, his face might light up in a subtle way, but his eyes will do the heavy lifting. They reveal that spark, that craving, that silent confession, ***, I want you, ***, and even if he's not ready to say it out loud, his eyes already have. Sometimes he may not even realize how much he's staring. Attraction isn't always conscious. It can override logic and timing. You might see him get momentarily lost in thought while looking at you, and when you ask, "What are you thinking about?" he smiles but doesn't answer. That silence says everything. His mind is already halfway into a fantasy, and that gaze, it's what pulled him there. A man who's sexually attracted to you doesn't just look at you. ***, he sees you differently, ***. He'll focus on you in a crowded room, keep his eyes on you longer than necessary, and offer a glance that holds tension, mystery, and unspoken desire. That look isn't always bold or obvious, but once you notice it, it's hard to miss. His body may try to stay composed, but his eyes, those are where the truth spills out. When a man looks at you like that, believe me, he's already saying it without words. He wants you. When a man is sexually attracted to you, his voice often gives it away before he even realizes it. It's one of those things that happens without thought, completely natural, yet incredibly telling. You see, when desire enters the picture, his tone, rhythm, and even his vocabulary start to shift. It's not just about what he says anymore. It's about ***, how *** he says it, and if you're paying attention, you'll catch the subtle but powerful cues. One of the first signs you'll notice is that his voice suddenly becomes deeper when he talks to you. Science has shown that men unconsciously lower their vocal tone around someone they are attracted to. It's a primal response, something rooted in biology. A deeper voice signals confidence, strength, and masculinity. It's the body's natural way of trying to appear more dominant and desirable. So if he's normally high, energy and upbeat, but his voice suddenly gets lower and smoother around you, don't ignore that. He's not just talking, he's * signaling *. Then there's the pacing of his speech. A man who feels sexually drawn to you often slows down his words. He takes his time when he speaks, draws out certain syllables, and pauses between sentences. not because he's unsure, but because he wants you to feel every word. He wants his voice to linger in your mind. He wants his presence to stretch beyond the moment, that slow, steady cadence. It's intentional. It creates intimacy, tension, and connection. You start to feel like the world has quieted down around you, like the conversation has its own private space. And in many ways it does. You might also catch how his language becomes more flirtatious, more personal, even more suggestive. Compliments that were once general, like "you look nice today," turn into something warmer, something deeper. "I can't stop thinking about the way you look in that dress." Or "there's something about your smile that drives me crazy." These aren't just random lines. These are windows into what he's feeling and imagining. And it's not just the compliments. Sometimes it's the questions he asks. He might start conversations that steer into more intimate territory. He becomes curious about your fantasies, about what turns you on, about your past experiences. He may not be explicit, but he'll dance around the edge, leaving room for chemistry to build. It's a way of testing the waters without fully diving in, because deep down he's already swimming in the thought of you. His voice might get softer when you're alone. He might lean in closer, lower his tone to almost a whisper, just so the words feel like a secret meant only for you. That whisper doesn't just speak to your ears. It brushes against your skin, and suddenly a simple conversation becomes charged, electric, unforgettable. So pay attention not just to his words, but to his delivery, because when a man desires you, his voice becomes more than sound. It becomes a feeling, a rhythm, a hint, a confession wrapped in conversation. When a man is sexually attracted to you, his need to be near you becomes undeniable. It shows in how he moves, how he sits, how he walks, and even how he positions himself in a room. Attraction creates a magnetic pull, an invisible thread that keeps tugging him closer to you. He might not even be aware of it, but his body instinctively tries to eliminate any distance between the two of you. You'll notice it in subtle ways at first. Maybe you're sitting at a table with friends, and somehow he always ends up next to you. Or maybe you're standing in a group, and he gradually shifts closer, inch by inch, until you feel his presence in your space. He doesn't need a reason, he just finds one. Maybe he needs to ask you something trivial, or he accidentally bumps into your arm while laughing at a joke. These little moments, they're not random, they're intentional, even if they seem casual. Physical proximity is one of the clearest signs of sexual interest. A man who desires you won't be satisfied watching from afar. He'll want to feel the energy between you up close. He'll lean in when you talk, lowering his head slightly just to catch your words, even when he can hear you perfectly fine. That closeness is part curiosity, part craving. He wants to connect with you, physically and emotionally. His body language is telling you everything his lips might be afraid to say. He'll also find subtle ways to touch you. These touches won't be dramatic or inappropriate. In fact, they'll be so casual they're almost unnoticeable unless you know what to look for. A light touch on your lower back as he walks past, brushing his hand against yours when you reach for something, playfully nudging your shoulder when he jokes, these are all ways he tests boundaries. He's checking to see how you react if the chemistry is mutual. Because if you lean in too, if you smile, if you don't pull away, he reads that as a green light to go deeper. You might also observe how he mimics your movements. This is called mirroring, and it's something people do unconsciously when they feel a strong connection. If you cross your legs, he may do the same. If you lean on your hand, he mirrors that posture. It's not about copying, it's about syncing. His body is literally aligning with yours. Even in group settings, his attention stays focused on you. If someone else tries to engage him, he responds, but his eyes, his torso, his feet, they're still angled toward you. That body orientation, it's a giveaway. He might be talking to someone else, but every part of his being is still trying to stay connected to you asterisk. So when you feel his presence hovering near you more than anyone else's, when you notice those accidental touches and his constant desire to be close, don't brush it off. That's not coincidence, that's chemistry, that's desire moving in silence. There are some truths the body will always reveal, no matter how hard someone tries to hide them. When a man is sexually attracted to you, his physical reactions often give him away before his words ever do. His body becomes a canvas of signals, some subtle, others impossible to miss. And if you know what to look for, you'll see the story unfold right in front of you. Start with his posture. The moment you walk into the room, you might notice him straighten up, pull his shoulders back, or square his stance. This isn't a coincidence. It's his body's automatic attempt to appear more confident, more attractive, more masculine asterisk. It's as if your presence activates something primal in him. He becomes more aware of himself, how he looks, how he carries himself, even how he breathes. And then there's his hands. Pay attention here. He may fidget with his shirt, adjust his collar, or run his fingers through his hair a little more often when you're around. These aren't meaningless habits. They're signs of nervous energy fueled by attraction. He might smooth his clothes repeatedly, adjust his belt, or shift his stance like he's trying to compose himself. These are all unconscious attempts to self-regulate because, in that moment, you have taken control of his focus. Another big giveaway, his lips and his jawline. A man who's feeling that pull of sexual energy may lick his lips more than usual or bite the inside of his cheek without realizing it. He might clench his jaw or grind his teeth lightly, not out of anger or stress, but because there's tension building inside him. That tension has nowhere to go, and it shows up physically. It's a quiet battle between what he feels and what he thinks he should hide. Watch for how he breathes too. When he's close to you, his breath might deepen or become slightly irregular. Maybe you say something playful, and suddenly he exhales sharply, almost like a nervous laugh or a quiet sigh. That's not just emotion, it's arousal creeping in, trying to stay under control. And if you ever catch him breaking eye contact and glancing downward, especially toward your body, that's a signal his thoughts have already crossed into intimate territory. He might quickly snap his gaze back up, trying to cover it up, but the moment has already happened. His body has already betrayed his thoughts. Even the way he walks or stands when you're nearby might shift. He might plant his feet wider, puff out his chest slightly, or rest his hands on his hips. All subconscious behaviors men use to take up space and show presence. It's a form of nonverbal flirting, and it's powerful. So while words can be measured, filtered, or held back, the body rarely lies. A man who's sexually attracted to you might keep his feelings under wraps verbally, but physically, his body will talk louder than his mouth ever could. All you have to do is listen with your eyes. There's a certain shift that happens when you're alone with a man who's sexually attracted to you. The energy changes. It becomes heavier, more charged, like the space between you starts buzzing with something unspoken. This is the moment when his true nature begins to reveal itself. In public, he may be reserved, controlled, polite. But when the world is stripped away and it's just the two of you, the real signs of his desire begin to surface. He might not even realize it himself at first, but that shift in his behavior, The way he looks at you, the way he talks, it becomes noticeably bolder. Suddenly, his compliments become more specific, more intentional. Instead of a casual, "You look nice," he might say, "There's something about the way you look tonight that's driving me crazy." He's not just admiring you, he's letting desire slip through in his words, hinting at thoughts that go far beyond the surface. It's in those quiet one moments that he becomes more flirtatious, more daring, more direct. You may notice that he moves in closer, sits beside you rather than across from you, and speaks in a tone that feels more personal, more intimate. He's testing the atmosphere, feeling out how far he can go, not in a disrespectful way, but in a way that says, I want to know if you feel this too. He may start teasing you playfully, making little jokes that carry a touch of flirtation underneath, or he might start asking deeper, more vulnerable questions. Not just about your day, but about what excites you, what you dream about, what kind of connection you crave. These aren't small talk questions, these are curiosity with intention. He wants to understand you on a level that unlocks more than your mind. He wants access to the space where passion lives, and watch his body during these moments. His posture softens, but his attention sharpens. He leans in when you speak, watches your lips move, and his responses become slower, smoother, like each word he says is carefully chosen to build intimacy. His gaze may drop from your eyes to your lips and back again, not just once, but repeatedly. That back and forth glance is his mind battling with his restraint. His touch, if it happens, becomes more deliberate when you're alone. A brush on the hand that lingers too long, a hand on your back that stays a second past appropriate. These moments aren't about crossing lines, they're about communicating without words. Because the truth is, when a man is sexually attracted to you, privacy gives him permission to show what he's been holding back in public. Even his silences speak volumes. Those quiet moments where the conversation pauses and he just looks at you, almost as if he's deciding whether to say what he's really thinking. He may not act on it, but the energy is undeniable. You can feel it between your skin and his stare. You know something's building, and so does he. So when you're alone with a man and he starts leaning in, flirting deeper, revealing more, and holding your gaze a little too long, understand this. He's not just enjoying your company. He's fantasizing about more. One of the most overlooked yet powerful signs of sexual attraction is how a man mirrors and responds to your energy. When he's truly drawn to you, when that desire runs deep, he doesn't just observe your behavior. He reflects it. He adjusts his rhythm to match yours, syncs with your mood, and sometimes even without meaning to. He starts amplifying everything you bring into the space. Let's say you're being playful, teasing him, smiling a lot, radiating confidence. Watch how he instantly picks up on that and begins to match your tone. Suddenly, he's teasing back, leaning in, his smile widening, his eyes glowing with that spark. He isn't just reacting, he's participating. You've become the center of the moment, and he's tuned into you like you're the only frequency in the room. That's not just connection, that's chemistry, and it's running on pure instinct. If you're speaking softly or moving slowly, you might see him unconsciously mirror that calmness. His voice lowers, his movements become gentler, his responses feel more focused, more deliberate. It's like he's reading your vibe and adjusting his to make sure the mood between you two stays aligned. That's because he's not only interested, he's emotionally invested in how you're experiencing the moment. He wants to stay close to whatever energy you're putting out. You may also notice this mirroring in body language. If you touch your neck while speaking, glance down, or cross your legs, he might subtly do the same. He may lean in when you do, shift his shoulders when you move, or echo your laughter in a way that feels in sync. These small imitations aren't meant to mock or mimic. They're subconscious signs that he feels close to you. It's his body saying, asterisk, I feel what you feel. I want to be where you are. Asterisk, but here's the fascinating part. When a man is sexually attracted to you, he won't just mirror you. He'll amplify the vibe. If you give him 20% flirtation, he gives back 40%. If you lean in, he leans in closer. If you say something bold, he responds with something even more daring. It becomes this thrilling game of back and forth, where every word, every glance, every touch grows with intensity. He's not just reacting, he's pushing the moment further, seeing how far the chemistry will go. Sometimes it's not even about what's said. It's in the pauses, the tension between the words. He'll read your body language, sense your comfort, and use that as fuel. He might not touch you first, but if you touch him even casually, you'll feel the way his body responds. That little jolt of awareness, that slight shift in breath or posture, it's real. That's not just affection. That's desire being stirred. And when a man starts syncing with you, like that, mirroring, matching, and then intensifying the connection, it's not a coincidence. He's not doing it on purpose. He's doing it because he's attracted to you on a deep physical, emotional, and energetic level. His desire doesn't just follow your lead, it rises to meet it and dares to take it further.